Hello, everyone. Travel agents helping each other. It's July 29th. I think it's a Wednesday. This is our second session for this week. And today we have a special guest. We have a special supplier with us. We have Peter with American Queen Steamboat Company, right?
Yep.
Hi,
Morning.
Peter. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I see, we actually have quite a few people that are already joined us. I see Ravi's here, and Shari, and Paula, and Shelly. If you guys are on the line, just say hi. Let us know that you guys are here. Hi, Cynthia. We're going to give people a few more seconds to get in, but people, you guys should know that we're doing our sessions almost maybe 3-4 times a week. 2:30 p.m. on our Travel Agent Helping Each Other Facebook page. This will be recorded and be broadcasted on our YouTube channel as well. If you can't attend to the live, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you'll get a notification when videos are uploaded. Hi, Shelly. And I think we're ready to start. Shelly, she says hi from Florida. I think Peter's from Florida too, right?
Yep, I'm in South Florida. I don't know where's Shelly.
Shari, let us know where in Shari. Shari, I'm going to butcher her last name. Sorry. So let us know where you're from. Oh, and Kirsten is here. I haven't seen you in a while, Kirsten. How are you? And Victoria. Oh, we have quite a few. I'm sure. I mean, part of the reason why we invited Peter and we are going to talk about it is, a very unique product that some of us are not really aware of. Sherry says outside of Tampa.
Oh, okay, great. I'm down towards Fort Lauderdale.
And you're the BDM for Florida, or is it certain hosts?
Well, I've got everybody in Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama. But if the host is located here and your documents are driven through a host in my territory, then I'm your guy. But we've got a bunch of folks that are spread out amongst the country, and I've got a little bit more about that in a second that you can talk with directly, but we all kind of pitch in for each other, and we've got terrific support out of our headquarters office in Indiana.
Awesome. I posted Peter's contact information again if you're within his territory. If you're not, I'm sure Peter is going to let us know where you could find a list of all the BDMs. Or if not, we'll post it. We'll make sure that you guys know who to turn to if you need it. So it seems like we're ready because we have people all around, and we want to know and hear a little bit about the company. So tell us a little bit about the company.
Well, great. I've got a short PowerPoint if I can run through a couple slides.
Let's start with that.
And then we can go into a Q&A, and I think that'll work out pretty well. Let's see. Ta-da! Okay, so let's see. Can everybody see that okay?
Yep, everything's good.
Terrific. Well, a lot of folks know American Queen Steamboat Company, but they don't, know a lot about the rest of us. We've actually got two core brands, American Queen Steamboat Company and Victory Cruise Lines, which is the sister brand. But those are the two companies that we have in what we call the overnight division. We're owned by a larger group called Hornblower Holdings, which is a very large concern. And under Hornblower Holdings, besides the overnight division, we've got all the Hornblower cruises and events that includes entertainment cruises, dinner cruises in most major cities. If you've ever gone to Alcatraz on a cruise, Niagara Falls, or the Statue of Liberty, you were on one of our boats and didn't even realize it. And then outside of that, we run a ferry service for the U.S. government, as well as military applications and military consulting. So altogether, Hornblower Holdings operates over 100 vessels in the United States today, making us the largest cruise company in the U.S. by a factor of like 4 times. But really the thing that we're concerned about the most is where people can stay overnight on the boats, which is American Queen Steamboat Company and Victory Cruises. You know, we're uniquely an American company. All of our boats are built in the US, they are flagged US, and all the people working on it are US citizens. So, you know, it's an important distinction when you're thinking about the kind of service and the kind of knowledge the people on board will actually be able to give you. Uh, on the main rivers, we've got 4 paddle wheel boats, the American Queen, the Duchess, and the Countess, all sailing on the Mississippi and her tributaries. And then up in the Pacific Northwest, we've got the American Empress. The guests that we're targeting, and that's who you should be looking at too, are essentially folks 60 and older. We are a casual ship. There's no, formal nights. There's nothing like that. So if you go to dinner in slacks and a collared shirt, you're absolutely fine. Our guests are, as you might expect, they've traveled before. They're well traveled. They're fairly affluent, and they are now reintroducing themselves back to the America that they know and love. We are handicap friendly, so if you've got folks with mobility issues, we're ready to take care of them in a great way. When you buy one of our cruises, all of them include a pre-cruise hotel night. So this is important because we are a cruise-only product. It's up to you or the client to work out your airfare and your transfer from the airport to the host hotel. But once you're at the host hotel, we take it from there. So check in at the host hotel. This is when we take the opportunity to do some check-in procedures and an initial medical screening, which has come out because of COVID. Once you're at the hotel, you relax, enjoy yourself. The next morning when you check out, breakfast is included. And after you check out of your hotel, we'll go into your hotel room, take your luggage, and put it directly into your cabin on the boat. So you don't have to worry about, moving your luggage from one place to the other. We'll take care of that for you.
Peter, can we touch a little bit about what do you mean an additional pre-screening, medical pre-screening for that first night?
Sure, happy to. We've paired with Osner Health, which is one of the biggest medical consulting groups in the country. They're also the people that do the medical workups for the New Orleans Saints. And they have partnered with us to do medical remediation for COVID and anything else on a pretty wide basis. So when somebody first checks in, the days of, getting off the airplane, running to the ship, hopping on and going sailing, that's over for us, okay? What we do now is we require people to take that first hotel night, which is included in the fare. It's not anything additional. But we require them to check in there so that we could do a medical checklist. We do an initial screening for their temperature, look at their overall health and things like that. And that 24 hours when we do the initial screening until they step on the boat is critical for us, because if we see something that doesn't look quite right, then we can take steps right then and there to try and clear up any misconceptions. So we'll retest temperature if needed. If something pops up we think needs more attention, we've got time now to take that passenger to a U.S. medical facility and have them checked out before they get near the boat. Getting on the boat now means that everybody, crew and guests, all board through one same common boarding point. There's no more multiple boarding points. We've got some really spiffy instruments on board. One of them actually is keyed to your key card. Once you swipe to come onto the boat, we can identify you, and then as you board the boat, we're taking photos of every guest with thermal imaging cameras. So we can match up that guest to the temperature on a daily basis. So if we see something happening where day 1 they were great, day 2 they were great, day 3 we saw an elevated temperature, that lets us be proactive and get involved with that guest beforehand. Ochsner Health has also partnered with us to put pre-screening staterooms on board the boat. So if somebody doesn't feel well, not just for COVID, but for anything, fall down, get a bruise, something like that. We have staterooms set aside where we can telemed with a healthcare professional. We also have healthcare professionals on board the boat. And now this part is really, really important, okay? If you've ever sailed on a blue water ship, you know that if something happens to you while you're at sea, you've got to wait until you get to the next port of call. And if you're on a day at sea, that could be a while. When we're cruising up the rivers, we've got riverbanks on both sides of the boat. So if something is critical where we feel we need to evacuate a guest, we can actually pull over, okay? And we can get them transferred to a U.S. medical facility with U.S. doctors that take your U.S. medical insurance. So that's a huge difference instead of being evacuated off a ship in a foreign country. But that's a little bit about what we're doing. The pre-screening on board is just a little bit of it. We're also doing social distancing in all the public areas. All of the multiple use containers like salt and pepper shakers, the menus themselves, those are all single use now. So there's no more communal stuff like that. At the bars, for example, if you were having a cocktail at the bar and you wanted to nibble on something, in the old days, you would just pull over a bowl of whatever was on the bar and have at it. These days, that bowl is gone, but you can ask for some snacks and we'll bring you your own personal bowl of munchies, okay? So there are things that are being done on board to make it safer, not only for our guests, but also for our crew members. And we think we're really on the right track with a lot of this. If you want to see more, go to the agent portal, and we've got all of that, all of the guidelines there, as well as on our main website where you can see that everything what we're doing regard to COVID and anything else. Okay, so I hope that's kind of giving you a quick version from 30,000 feet, but I hope that's helpful.
Oh, that's great. And I'm glad I already had my lunch because you had it stuck on the on that slide with the fish, so with the salmon. So let's go. Let's continue with food.
Food on board is fantastic. Ocean and Cruise Magazine just surveyed all of the boats that are operating around the world, blue water cruising and river cruising, and the American Queen just got the #1 ranking for food. So we're very, very proud of that. Besides the main dining room, we've also got alternative venues that are absolutely complimentary. So there's no additional charge for that. We've got 24-hour room service. And if you have a special dietary need in terms of, vegetarian, vegan, we can take care of that as well. So just ask us and we'll do our best to accommodate those kinds of requests. Okay. Beverages are included throughout the vessel, soft beverages. So water, sodas, iced tea, specialty coffees and teas, those are always complimentary. At dinner time, there is beer and wine included at dinner time. But you can also get a beverage package, which is probably the best deal out there in the business. For a 7-night cruise, it's $400 per cabin based on double occupancy. And that covers any beverage up to $12 in value. And trust me, there really aren't a lot of beverages that are more than $12 in value on board. Okay. Show entertainment on board is Broadway caliber. They do a terrific job. You can actually see some of the shows on our Facebook channel, or if you go on YouTube, you can see some of the shows there, but they are very good. We recruit from Broadway, and we also have a bunch of step-on entertainers like Mark Twain impersonators, if we're in the Pacific Northwest, representatives from the First Nations. And the guy you see in the upper right-hand screen is a very, very important guy on board. He's called a Riverlorian, combination of river and historian. And he's always accessible to our guests to talk about the history of the steamboats, the history of the part of the river you're in, how things evolved, basic general knowledge that you can take as much or as little as you want to enhance the trip for your own tastes. When we call in a port, we actually have 5 of these buses that are shadowing the boat going up the river. So when we get to a port, you would get off the ship and look for one of these buses that looks exactly like our ship. Now, we're operating these at half capacity to allow for social distancing, and all the surfaces are wiped down once every half hour. These buses, all 5 of them, will do a loop in the town. They go every 15 minutes, and you can hop on and hop off wherever you want. So there's generally about 10 places you can go. All the stars that you see on the red stars on this map are actually places where we include the admission to that venue. So if you wanted to go and stop at stop number 4, walk a couple blocks to stop number 6, and hit a couple places on the way, have at it. It's all complimentary. So that's a nice way to see these towns.
So they walk up to any of these locations in the star, and they just show their key card, or they tell them that they're with you guys and they just have access, or these are normally complimentary in general, no entry fees?
No, usually there's a mix. Some of them don't have an entry fee. Most do, but when you're with us at these places, the entry fee is waived. All you have to do is show your keys.
Are there any other excursions in general where they have a guide and a tour?
Yes, there are, and I can get to that in just a second, okay?
Okay.
But we also take somebody, when the bus is going around this circuit, we also take somebody from the local Chamber of Commerce or the Historical Society to act as a commentator on the bus. So as the bus is going around, these people are giving color commentary about the town, how it grew up, what it's important for, and things of that nature. Okay. Yeah, we're right next to the riverbank, so we're using US cell towers. So of course, Wi-Fi is free. All right. If you want to send some photos back, no problem. In the bigger suites, just like the blue water cruisers, we do a river butler service. So if you're in one of the bigger suites, we'll do everything that a butler would do: pack, unpack, do special requests, afternoon canapes, late night things, anything like that. Now, don't forget, you can add on city-stay packages if you want. They're available pre or post in about 10 destinations, and adding a city-stay package is a really smart way to enhance your commission when you sell one of these cruises. Now, the premium shore excursions are sold through a website, and you should write this down. It's www.reservemyexcursions.com. And there you'll see you can do golf, you can go to the front line of the battlefields in the Civil War, you could do hands-on cooking with world-famous chefs, you can go to some of the better museums, but the really important thing, again, is make sure you book your clients through that website, because that is the only way you get paid a commission for premium shore excursions. If you call up reservation and say, hey, book them into the Regina Charbonneau culinary experience in Natchez, you don't get paid a commission on that. So please don't cut yourself short. Make sure you go to this website to book your premium shore excursions. Everybody should be buying travel protection. We, just like everybody else, we sell it these days. The only real trick here is that if someone's trying to cover a pre-existing condition, they have to buy the travel protection within 14 days of deposit. So if you have someone who's concerned about a pre-existing condition, make sure you hit that deadline so that they're protected and covered. So let's talk a little bit about where we're going, okay? Because I know this is a big interest. Our bread and butter cruises are on the Mississippi River and its tributaries. And the most important one is New Orleans to Memphis. This is where you see the plantation houses. This is where you see the Civil War history and a lot of the food for Cajun, Creole, and other. This is where you see a lot of music also that you find in the lower Mississippi Delta. And for foodies, this is a terrific area, okay? We also go from Memphis all the way up to Red Wing so that you can actually go to the source of the Mississippi River. And we do have a cruise that goes the entire distance of the Mississippi. The other tributaries we serve are the Ohio and the Tennessee River, where you can get into bourbon cruises, the Kentucky Derby. You can get into music cruises for Nashville and Chattanooga. Okay, the boat that we have our flagship is the American Queen. This is the largest, most opulent steam-powered paddle wheeler ever constructed, and she is absolutely beautiful. The theater you can see here is modeled after Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., and the intricacies on board are gorgeous. See how the decks actually wrap around the whole boat? Those are open promenades that you can walk outside the boat all the way around the boat. And so when you get into your cabin, typically you'll see a couple of chairs and a table outside, and it is very common for folks to pull up a drink, sit down outside their cabin, watch the river go by, and meet people walking by. This is a really, really friendly boat, okay? So very easy to make friends. Inside, it's elegant, it is opulent, it is exactly what you'd expect to see for a riverboat on the Mississippi River. It fits the time and place, okay? We have spas on board, we have gyms on board, so if you're looking to do something, plenty of things to do. And when you go look at the cabins on our boats, these are not prefabbed constructed modules that all look the same. All of the furniture in each accommodation is unique to that room. And, you know, I'm not just showing you the big stuff. This is a category A private veranda. So what you don't see is a marble bathroom behind the camera, along with the walkway that goes to the inside hallway for access. And then outside, you open up those big doors. There's the river. You've got your chairs outside and a perfect way to relax cruising down the Mississippi. Now, if you thought about going into the engine room on some of the big ships, either you're going to pay a lot of money for an excursion, or they're just going to plain old tell you no. But you can actually get into the engine room on the American Queen anytime you want. We've got a viewing area downstairs where you could talk to the engineers on duty and see exactly how everything works to propel the boat. And these guys are actually oiling the gears every 20 minutes the same way they did it in Mark Twain's day. So just for the people who are mechanically inclined, great opportunity. Okay. The other boats on the Mississippi are the American Duchess, which is a boutique-sized boat. This is a totally different look, and it's intended that way to be a little bit more towards a European taste for folks that like that. The big thing on the Duchess is the loft suites, which are the biggest suites on the Mississippi. It's 2 stories high. Upstairs is the bedroom, and downstairs you've got a nice gathering area and 2-story high glass windows looking out onto the Mississippi. There are marble bathrooms upstairs and another second full bathroom downstairs. So for people who are used to a little bit better things in life, great, great choice. Our biggest disappointment because of COVID this year was the American Countess. We had her all set to go. We were ready to christen her on April the 5th, being it's in New Orleans. Instead of a bottle of champagne, we had a giant bottle of Tabasco ready to break across her bow. And because of COVID, we just couldn't do it. But this boat is absolutely gorgeous. And again, a more modern boutique looking vessel for folks with that kind of taste. This year, we have, if you look in the brochure, there's a program called Queen's Collection, which are the theme voyages. So we've got bourbon cruises, Cajun Creole culinary. When we're in the upper Mississippi, we're doing barbecue challenges with some of the best pit masters in the country, going up against our onboard crew, and the people that judge the competition are our guests. So big win there. Civil War voyages are, of course, our big plus, as well as music. So we're doing big band, we're doing jazz, we're doing the music of the 50s and 60s, the evolution of rock and roll with sock hops, and we're bringing on headline named people. For example, like Lee Greenwood, national icon for his songs. Terry Mike Jeffrey is someone you probably want to Google, but when you do, you'll be amazed at this guy's body of work. And we bring on Joyce Cobb, who is the queen of rhythm and blues in the Memphis area. So great chances to see terrific entertainment. The Kentucky Derby is one of our signature events. This one is already pretty close to sold out for next year, believe it or not. So if you have people that have interest in that or in doing the golf classic, those are ones to get on very, very quickly, okay? And of course, this year and next year, we do terrific Home for the Holidays on the lower Mississippi and in other parts of the river. So plenty of fun stuff there. Let me shift gears a little bit, go to the Pacific Northwest, because here we've got cruises on the Columbia and Snake Rivers. And why this is important is because this is a terrific area that focuses on just the natural beauty. And more importantly, if you had guests who really wanted to do a wine cruise in Europe this year, but were disappointed, the Columbia Valley, which is where the Columbia River is, has over 50 wineries. This is a great place to do a wine cruise. They're really known for their Pinots and their Chardonnays. Beautiful, beautiful area. The natural beauty is just not to be missed. We're doing that on the American Empress. This is an easy sell because all of the staterooms are outside Riverview staterooms. Here you're basically retracing the steps of Lewis and Clark, but you're also getting a chance to get really close to nature and do some fun stuff like zip lining, hiking, things that are out of the ordinary, and just focus on the natural beauty of the area. And there's one of the wineries just outside the Redlands. The Empress, like I said, is an easy sell. It looks like a gold rush type of vessel. It's very beautiful inside, elegant, with additional outside dining venues for people who prefer that. The show lounge is in keeping with what you'd expect to see. And again, we've got plenty of our signature rocking chairs up on the top deck for you to watch the scenes go by and just relax and enjoy.
Peter, I have a quick question for you. The special sailings with celebrity guest cruises, is that all listed on the website?
It's listed on the website. It's also in the travel agent portal. And if you wanted specific information about how to maybe put a group together or focus on one of those, get a hold of your BDM and we'd be happy to put something together for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. This is what the accommodations look like on the Empress. Absolutely beautiful, light, bright, and airy because they're all outsides. And I know what you're thinking is, hey, you're showing me the really, really good stuff again. Well, you know what? This is our single occupancy stateroom. And I think that looks pretty doggone spiffy. Plenty of room to stow stuff and just excellent, excellent onboard service. So I think that's something that will make anybody happy. Okay, so up to this point, we've talked about American Queen Steamboat Company. I want to touch really quickly on Victory 1 and 2, that are two identical boats doing the Eastern Seaboard as well as the Great Lakes. Now, if you've got somebody who's from the Midwest, cruising out of Navy Pier in Chicago is a huge bucket list item. And we actually do that on the Victory ships. We include the pre-cruise hotel night. Now, a little bit different, the Victory ships are all inclusives. So all the beverages, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, are included. We're doing all 5 Great Lakes, going from Chicago to either Toronto or Port Weller near Niagara Falls. And then we do the St. Lawrence Seaway out to do the Eastern Seaboard. And that's where we'll also start. Now, those are the 2 ships in Victory today, but I want to show you this ship because this is the hot boat for next year. This is our brand new vessel called Ocean Victory. And this boat is completely different from anything you've seen. I guarantee it. First of all, take a look at the back of the boat. You can notice that we can actually do multiple Zodiac embarkations at the same time. And when you look at the front of the boat, you'll notice it doesn't look quite the same as other ships. And there's a reason for that. That's called a cross bow. And the waves gently go through the bow instead of, getting that slamming feeling. So it's a much more subtle ride. It's a much less intrusive ride on the environment as well. And you'll probably notice right on the bow, there are those little platforms that crews usually use to see how close they are to the dock when they're coming in. Well, there's an observation lounge inside that part of the boat that our guests can lounge around in. And then if they see something, they can actually go right outside and be in that moment, okay? So a terrific opportunity. This boat is a new era of performance because we have light touch anchorless stabilizers so that when we go somewhere, we don't even drop an anchor. We just hook up the GPS to our position and the boat stays put. We can actually do zero emissions on a day-by-day capacity. We're burning low emission clean fuels the rest of the time. And this boat is just state of the art as far as protecting the environment. The whole idea behind Ocean Victory is just like Mama Bear teaches the baby bears how to do things. That's what we're doing with Ocean Victory. We're doing a learn by doing. And so we've got some really special people on board. First of all, 20% of the crew is dedicated to marine science experts and expedition crew members. So for the people driving the Zodiacs and doing the overall marine science chats, we've partnered with Cal Poly State University. These are the best marine science experts in the country. And they're actually working with our guests to make sure you've got a great experience. The other people that we've gotten involved with this product are the professionals at the Sound Science Research Collective at Five Finger Lighthouse. Now, Five Finger Lighthouse sits right at ground zero for all the whale activity. So when we come here, the professionals there will be working with our guests to do drop sounds to listen to whale song. These guys know the whales better than anybody else, and they're going to impart that knowledge to our guests. We'll do also krill collection with drag nets and learn about what's happening with the environment and these magnificent creatures. Coupling that with the Sitka Sound Science Center, these are the folks that are doing hands-on experiments with our guests to get deeper into how things work and the interrelationships between the environment and our world. So just a level of involvement that you don't find on many ships. Two other really smart partners we have is in Sitka. While you're there, we'll get you involved at the Raptor Center, who are folks that are rehabilitating orphaned or damaged animals and then getting them back out into the wild. If you've never been to Alaska and never been close to these gorgeous animals, this is a great chance. And the last people we're working with are the Fortress of the Bears. Fortress of the Bears takes in orphaned bears and rehabilitates them with an eye towards releasing into the wild. Now, at this facility, our guests are going to get within 20 feet of these bears up on elevated platforms. Forget about anything else you thought about in Alaska. These are the experiences that you'll carry with you for the rest of your life. And this is not sitting on a city block watching Alaska go by. This is actually getting into the environment, figuring out how things work, understanding more about our environment, and really getting your hands on the whole experience. A magnificent way to spend a vacation. So here's where the cruise goes. It goes Vancouver to Sitka or Sitka to Vancouver. I recommend Sitka to Vancouver, because you get an additional day on board at Tracy Arm, Ford's Terror, and such. Okay. At the end of the season, we're also doing an itinerary that, unless you own your own boat, you'd probably never see these areas. This is called the Hidden Coast, and the real gems here are Alert Bay, Desolation Sound, and Pender Harbor. These are places that are just great spots for kayaking, getting out into the wild. And like I said, if you don't own your own boat, you probably would never get a chance to see these areas. Real quick, I'll show you some interior views, but the interior of the boat is absolutely gorgeous. Exactly what you would expect to see from a quality expedition and exploration product. And we cannot be more excited about this boat, and I hope you feel that. Inside, all outside cabins. There's no insides whatsoever. Pardon me. So for 2020, we've got some great deals out there. Savings of up to $3,500 per stateroom, with reduced single supplements to no single supplements, and reduced deposits. One thing we also did was, if you put money down on a cruise and you canceled from 120 days out, there was an administrative fee that we retained. We're waiving that administrative fee for the rest of the year. Okay, so a really good opportunity to go ahead and get your folks on board. And for next year, our theme is Come Home, because that's really what we're inviting people to do. Come home to America's rivers and explore the things that you may have missed because you were traveling abroad before. Now, our first cruise, in case you didn't know it, will actually be on the American Duchess in the Mississippi River, August 17th, and the American Countess on August 23rd. So we're getting going. We're ready to start. Here's how you, as a travel professional, can get more information. And this is something we just did. So this is brand new, okay? It used to be we had an agent site for American Queen Steamboat Company and a separate agent site for Victory Cruise Lines. And you needed separate sign-ins for both of them. We combined everything under the Victory Cruise Lines website. And so now everything's under one spot. If you logged in before for American Queen Steamboat Company, you're probably going to have to log in again to get Victory Cruise Lines. But once you do that, you're done. Okay. And if you just go to victorycruiselines.com, you see my little red arrow there for the travel agent portal. That's how you would get in. You can also go to www.agents.aqsc.com. Now, that was the old American Queen Steamboat Company agent portal, and that will just redirect you right to the brand new agent portal. And once you're there, you'll see tabs for education and training, sales support, marketing collateral, and additional resources. Anything you could possibly think about asking is under those tabs. And it's just a real easy way to get stuff. For example, when you click on marketing collateral, we've got collateral not only for the brochures that you can order, but we've got promotional flyers for each and every cruise with a call to action box that you can customize before you send it out. We've got itinerary flyers for each and every cruise. So if you were looking at promoting a bourbon cruise or something like that, you can go to here, grab that one that talks about that itinerary, customize it with your call to action, and get a customized piece right out to your clients. This is where you'd find out about group opportunities, and you would file a group request form if you wanted to open up a group. And it goes right to our group department, cutting out, the middleman, which is the BDM, so you get faster service. So everything is here for you to really get done. This is the whole team. So I'm down in the Southeast. My colleagues are spread out along the country, and Wendy Whalen Smith is our director of group sales. So if you're putting together a small group, she's going to be your best friend. Now, I will say that if you belong to an agency consortium, okay, take a look under your agency consortia to see if we have block group dates for you. Because in many cases, we're doing a 20% commission on groups. We're trying to help agents out with giving you a $250 advance against your commission when the payment in full is done, instead of waiting till the cruise finishes. And with the block groups for your consortia, you don't have to actually have a group minimum. You could just book FIT people into the block and not have to worry about any minimums. Okay. So I hope you find that helpful. This is our reservations number. They're ready, willing, and able to take your calls Monday through Sunday from basically 9 a.m. through the 7 p.m. on the weekends, 8 to 9 during the week. Okay. And so I wanted to thank you for sitting with me for this long so I can run through this. And I know you must have some questions, so I'm happy to try and answer any questions you may have.
We do have some. Let me just hide this. Okay. So the Ocean Victory. When is the first sailing?
First sailing is going to be in May of 21.
May of 2021. How big is the ship? How many guests?
200 guests with 100 crew members.
And you said it's an all-inclusive, but are the excursions included as well, or that's extra?
Well, there aren't that many places to do excursions. Here, let me go, if I could, let me go back a little bit to one of the itineraries. You'll notice out of a 13-day cruise, well, I've got to go back quite a ways here. There we go. Out of a 13-day cruise, there are only 4 ports of call, really. And the reason for that is this is really an expedition vessel, okay? It's a luxury boat, but it's an expedition and a learning vessel. So what the captain is enabled to do is he can go anywhere that they think they're going to have a better experience working with wildlife or conditions for our guests. So you're going into areas like, you know, the Waterfall Coast, which is a place most ships will not go to. We're actually, instead of just going up into Tracy Arm, because we have the GPS with the mooring system where we don't have to actually drop an anchor, we can stay in Tracy Arm overnight and observe the wildlife there or get active with things on the coast. So there's not a whole lot of excursions you have to pay for here, because most of the time we're out there taking care of, you know, the environment and learning more about, you know, Alaska and the world that we share. It's less, you know, of a traditional cruise and more of a personal journey of learning and knowledge.
Okay. Someone was asking regarding Victory Cruises and Ocean Victory. Do you guys have the same COVID procedures you mentioned on the American Steamboat? Okay.
Absolutely, and that's a great question. And yeah, we're consistent with that throughout. And if you go onto our website, either the travel agent portal or our main website, there's a whole lot of information there about the partnership that we've done with Osner Health, and it outlines a lot more about the things we're doing. I joke with my family by telling them that, you know, our boats are cleaner than our house, because, you know, they're cleaning all of the surfaces on a half-hour basis, and they're fogging the staterooms as part of the cleaning exercise. So when they go into the stateroom to clean it on a daily basis, what they do is they clean the stateroom like normally, then they wipe down and disinfect everything, and then they go and they fog the stateroom to make sure it's absolutely pristine. The things that we're doing are really intended to keep our customers safe. And if something happens where we need to take somebody off, we're uniquely set up to take care of those guests quickly with U.S. facilities, you know, and that's a big difference than if you're traveling abroad.
Some of our agents are asking, are there any travel agent rates, discount, something with education program?
Yes, but, and here's the but. We want to make sure that the people that are using travel agent rates have at least a little bit of exposure to our product before you go on the cruise, okay? So if you go to the agent portal, you'll find out that there is a section called My Cruise Academy, okay? My Steamboat Academy, rather. And this is a series of self-guided videos on each of the boats and about the product in general, okay? Doesn't take long. It's not very hard. The modules are like 15 minutes long. When you go through all of them, at the end of it, you get a certificate of completion, and you need that certificate of completion to request a travel agent rate or to be considered for fam trips.
Okay. And for the agents that actually want to book, can we book online? Do we have to call to book?
You've got to call. We're working right now on an API that it will be set up for a couple of the more popular booking engines, but that is still a couple of weeks away. We had hoped to bring that out, but with COVID reducing our staff, because of having to work out of their houses, that was a project that got pushed back a little bit. But we've got it back on track now because our offices are back open, and we expect to have that up and working pretty quickly.
Can we see rates and availability, or everything has to be over the phone?
No. You can see rates and availability if you go on the website. Absolutely.
Just can't book. To make the actual booking, you have to call it.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
Good question. Thanks.
Okay, I think I covered all of my questions. Let me see if anyone has any other questions, please let us know in the chat below. But it seems like we covered most of it. It seems, I think we talked earlier, you said you guys are pretty busy, right? You seeing more interest in domestic travel and in your product?
Yeah, we're blessed that we're actually getting pretty busy right now. And I think that's for a couple of reasons. One was that, before, when people could go and travel, they thought of traveling as far away as they could from the US. And so a lot of times they neglected actually traveling here at home. And now that's an option for them. And because we're actually cruising in 3 weeks, where some of the other cruise lines won't be able to do that for a while, the people that have cabin fever from being locked up since March, they just want to go anywhere. So we've got a lot of folks who are happily traveling with us for that reason. There's another thing that's happening, though. For folks that have kids, their children weren't going to school. In a lot of cases, their children were forced to do distance learning this year. My wife's a teacher, so I know this firsthand. Because the kids weren't in school, they weren't going on field trips either. So now families traveling together, multi-generational, where mom, dad can take their mom and dad and their children and maybe learn a little bit more about our country, learn a little bit more about, the Civil War era, or maybe just the heartland, or go and see more about, if nothing else, Graceland, rock and roll, get out there and do something as a family. We're seeing a lot of multi-generational engagement right now, which is really gratifying. So we're very happy about that too.
I saw a question from Susan asking about your competitors. There's a competitor that is coming into the market, but remember, Susan, they're only coming to the market summer of 2022. So, they do have, if they want to wait another 2 years to get on a ship, that's one thing. But I'm sure, more competitors, of course, will affect everyone. But again, remember that with American Steamboat, first cruise leaves August 17th. So,
and we're happy about having someone else come in, because we think that the more exposure we can get for this great country, the better off we're all going to be. If you're looking for a product like Viking, that's probably not the product that's going to affect us, because of the price point and because of the way their ships are set up. There are certain boats that just fit the environment, okay? If you're in, Portofino, or you're off the coast of Sorrento, you want to be on a Silver Sea ship or a seaborne ship because that fits the elegance of the place. If you're in the Caribbean, you probably want to be on one of the Windstar sailboats watching the sails go as you cruise from island to island because that fits the place. Paddle wheelers are unique, and there's no place that fits better on the rivers of this country than a steam engine paddle wheeler, and that's unique. The boat fits the place, and that's the kind of feeling you get from our boats that you really can't get from other boats.
It is a unique product, and yeah. And as Peter said, and we seem to see it, people are getting more interested, and they want to stay local for all the reasons that you've mentioned before.
Please don't, if I could, please don't make the mistake of thinking that there's a lot of time out there. We're seeing a lot of people buying right now, and I just did 4 seminars, direct consumer, in Central Florida last week, and we had 60 people book for a Christmas cruise this year. Okay, if you're thinking that my people aren't ready to travel, at a bare minimum, just keep in touch with them, because trust me, a lot of these folks are just tired of sitting in their house, tired of doing nothing, and somebody's going to sell them something. It may as well be you.
Yeah. Susan is asking about social media material. If I'm not mistaken, you said that there are flyers on the travel agent website, right, that you can utilize. And you guys also have a website, or you can come up with something. Is there anything in particular that we can use for social media?
There's stuff online that you could pull down, and if you're having a hard time finding it, just reach out to me or reach out to your BDM, and we'll get you the flyer from Osner Health of what we're doing online. There is so much material on board on the travel agent portal that I'm sure once you get on there and start looking, you'll be amazed at how much material is available to you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we I think we've learned a lot. There's a lot of information on a very unique product. So I want to thank you, Peter, for joining us. And of course, I want to thank all the agents that are on the live session as well.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rory. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get our clients interested. We'll make some posts, and we'll see, maybe get some interest and a few more bookings.
Happy to help any way we can.
Wonderful. So we will use this. We'll upload the video later on our channel. If you're not seeing it live, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you'll be able to get a notification when something is loaded. Susan, Peter's contact is on the top of the post, so you could just scroll up and you'll see it. And when I will post the link, we'll have it again. So we should have all the information. Just scroll up, you'll see Peter's information. Thank you, Peter, again. Thank you, everyone, and we'll catch you guys next week on another live session. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.